What was she supposed to do? Hitchhike? We were supposed to get in an attractive trailer somewhere in Buffalo and decide to take the 8-hour ride as a hitchhiker? Because the train broke down? Because you were too cheap? Okay? He had a problem with Thunder Rosa of the Twisted Sisters. The most easiest woman to work with on the planet. One of the most loved women wrestlers in the United States. He had a problem with her. Called her a sore loser. Called her boo-boo. Because she complained about him calling his girlfriend's matches. And trying to call her match. Tried to redo everything that was already done. Tried to blame it all on her. Tried to say the match looked terrible because of her. Meanwhile, there was 5 other people in that match. It was a triple threat tag match. I mean, are you serious? And then gets pissed off that Holoded's used on April 8th's second show and Jessie Brooks is not. She's not on the poster. Okay, and just for you people who know what's going on, April 8th, the first show, is the first ever Warriors of Wrestling presents the Women of Warriors, a 16-women tournament to crown the first ever women's champion for Warriors. And many people are like, why isn't Bonesaw Jessie Brooks in the tournament? She's part of Warriors. She's like a mainstay. You're right. You are absolutely right. And we assumed she was going to be part of the show. I guess that was my fault for assuming, because we know what happens. She elected not to be in it. And not because in the actual tournament, they elected so-called, in her, well, which I thought was in her words, they were upset that nobody went to them and asked them to start the female division. That he was pissed off at Joe because he came to me. And that I'm a money mark. Haven't spent a dime, by the way. Only thing I've done is given them free advertisement with the local paper, the local TV, the local internet coverage, myself. Doesn't cost you a dime. It's because I have resources and I'm smart and I know how to use them. If he'd elected not to use them with Valkyrie, that's his own stupidity. But I'm the one that negotiated with the ladies, with the terms, and we put we had almost like 20 people we could have used. We narrowed it down to 16. One had to bail out a couple weeks ago, Solo Darling, and she was replaced with another superstar. And the bottom line, why the hell would we go to you? Why would we go to you? You had a failed company. You already had your shot. You failed. Twice. So why would he go? Why would Joe, the owner of Warriors of Wrestling, the owner of the new Women's of Warriors, go to a referee because you had experience running a company and an experience with wrestling in general, just like half his locker room? But why would he go to you and say, Kris, let's start a female company. We know you're not going to spend any money, so let's just set ourselves up for disaster. Let's partner up. Are you kidding me? Seriously. I don't get it. And I'm not, I don't mean to put Joe on the spot here and, make Joe have to get back to the corner because I'm sure Kris is going to go crying when he hears this to Joe. But Joe's the owner. He makes the decisions. If that's what he wants, that's what he gets. That's why he's the boss. It's his money. So if he wants to get me to come in and help him with this business venture, that's his decision. If he has certain people he doesn't want involved, that's his decision. Nobody else's. So you're the one that's being boo-boo. You're the one that's being bitter, crapping on our parade, disrespecting all 16 women in this tournament because they're not hand-selected by you. Meanwhile, a bunch of them were part of Valkyrie, and the ones that we asked already, like Casey Carlisle, Nyla Rose, Angel Dust, Catherine Belmont. They were all unavailable. You don't think we would have asked them? They were unavailable. They had other bookings. They would have loved to be in the show. And it ain't because of you, Kris. It's because they respect me and they respect Joe. And they respect what we're trying to do. This is for the girls. This ain't for you. This isn't for a pat on the back for you. This is for the women. This is for warriors of wrestling. So people can see that belt all over the United States, hopefully all over the world, and say, that is the Warriors of Wrestling female champion. So when they're on Facebook, they can say, I saw them in the UK. I saw them in Mexico. I saw them in Canada. I saw them in Kentucky, in Ohio, in Staten Island, wherever it happens to be defended. Okay, but instead, what you do is, you get behind your Facebook and you call people passive aggressive because they're voicing their opinion about you to you on Facebook, and you're calling them passive aggressive. But yet, what are you doing? You log on your screen name through your phone or your computer, and then you log on your girlfriend's name on your other device that it doesn't have your name on it. Okay? And you try to act as two different people. But yet, the grammar is exactly the same. Exactly the same. And I've had enough conversations with Jessie Brooks, whether it was interviews or otherwise, to know that she does not speak like you. Okay? Everything with you is got to be proper and perfect grammar, perfect spelling. That's not her. Not saying that's a bad thing, but the last thing I'm worried about when I'm venting is spelling something right on an IM. You know, if I spell go F yourself, F-U-K, I'm not going to go back and say I meant F-U-C-K. I'm going to leave it as B. You know what I mean. Okay, not only that, the other night when you tried to call me out when I was about to sit down and eat dinner, this is what kind of person you are. I'm about to sit down and eat dinner and you're calling me out. You're calling me out, telling me you want to talk now. You don't want to wait till April 8th. You're lucky, my friend, that I live 2 hours away from you. Because if you lived in Staten Island or you lived in Central Jersey, I would have drove to your house and smacked the shit out of you. Bottom line is, you called me out. And then when I told you I'm about to sit down and eat dinner, you told me if I didn't talk then, the conversation was over in your mind and you were going to ignore anything I said or anything I brought up regarding the issues. Regarding you talking smack behind my back. About you talking smack about my talent behind my back. So it was on your terms. Okay? And then you had fake Jessie chime in and say, because Jessie's the one that agreed that we were going to talk on the 8th. Then all of a sudden she said she changed her mind. She's got to study for school and she doesn't need this on her mind. That's a bunch of BS. You want to know why it's a bunch of BS? It's because this is where I'm going to catch you in a lie. Facebook has G-tags. Geotagging. When you're on Instant Messenger, it tells me where you are when you're on Instant Messaging. When I know where you live. So how is it possible for Jessie to be home studying for school? She had school the next morning in New York. But yet the geotagging on her name and your name were your hometown. Explain that to me. I don't think you can. Not that I think you'd have the balls to even try. Okay? You have no ethics when it comes to this business. It's your way or the highway. Okay? You ruined that girl's career. Ruined it. I was thinking of possible ways that I can pull her aside and explain to her that she needs to call her own matches. She needs to learn. She needs to grow. I'm not saying she needed to break up with you, but she needs to stop letting you control her. You have ruined this girl's career. Everywhere you go with her, They know you're the baggage that comes along with it. You have to referee all her matches. She has to go over. If she doesn't go over, she can't take the fall. Someone else has to get pinned. Or there's got to be some twist. You have to call the spots. That's not someone that's going to learn, that's going to have a career. What's going to happen when she needs to take the next step in her career? It's not going to include you. I just don't understand. I mean, I really want other people to call in and chime in on this, and so people just don't know. It's just not me, ranting. I mean, you can't get any more unprofessional than you've acted in the past 6 months. Okay, you've talked crap behind my back. You talked crap about my talent that I've brought in. And what's funny is you tell me I'm out of my league. I'm out of my league. Okay? If I wanted to be a real asshole, I'll show you a picture of my bank account. Okay? Not being a money mark, but that money got there because I know how to conduct business. Has nothing to do with spending the money. It has to do with investing the money on a return. Okay, maybe we don't get a return on show number 1. Maybe we don't get a return on the first 3 shows. But if it's done right, done correctly, and done ethically, we will eventually get a return on these shows. Because female wrestling is at the high point right now. Do you not have a television? Do you not have WWE? Do you not watch cable? Okay, it's no longer let's get up and pee matches. These are the matches that people want to see. Women are main eventing Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. They're going to be main eventing major pay-per-views. So, it has nothing to do with... It has nothing to do... You got 2 of the most stubborn people involved in this women's division. Okay? Me, who does not like to lose any money and does not like to be called a failure. You got Joey B, who's I consider him like if you would have split us at birth, maybe I got more hair than him, but he's the same way. He does not like to fail, and he won't fail. He learns from his mistakes, and he'll put 1 footstep forward and he'll move on. It's like the Rocky quote. It doesn't matter how hard you get hit. It's whether you can get up and keep moving forward. Okay? That's the way business is done. That's the way winning is done. You get it? Okay? Not fail with Valkyrie and then start a new company doing the same garbage you did the first time and you fail again. But then blame everybody else. And then when someone else starts something similar, you bash them. You attack them. You try to bring everything they're doing down so it makes yourself feel better about yourself. And I'm sorry, my friend. No, sorry, my ex-friend. That's not the way it works. So you could either be part of the product, but you sure as hell ain't going to be part of our problem. So either be supportive or move on. Okay? That's all I got to say right now about this. We're going to take a commercial break. I have people messaging me all over the place with some questions, and some didn't know who I meant at first, but now they do. So, yeah, let's take a commercial break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Hello, this is the intrepid traveler, Paul London. Good journey, y'all. When you're ready to whip your rock out, do it with Coach Kev at Damage 365 Radio.
Esposito's Pizza and Pasta. Check us out on one of our fine locations. 930 Route 34 in Matawan, New Jersey, or 233 East Main Street in Manasquan, New Jersey. From pizza and salads to pasta and buffalo wings, we